this van. Let me give you a tour of it. Alright, so I wanted to give you a closer look at some of the things I did with this van to convert it. Originally it came with a pretty gross, like school bus-like floor. So first thing I did was gut it, ripped out all of that, and laid down a layer of plywood throughout the whole van, which is exposed in the back, but up front here I have this nice vinyl floor, although it's getting scratched up pretty quickly. But it certainly looks a little bit better, and it's easier to walk around on. Kept some of the original seats, mostly because the holes were pre-drilled. It was really easy to put them back in. This one's nice and long, so you can lay down on it. And I can fit, I'm like 5'8". If you were much taller, it might be kind of tricky. And then these were also the original seats, sectioned off. But you know, they had the seat belts and stuff, so it kept it simple. Yeah, and then if you step on in, you can stand up all the way with this high top roof, which is great. It just adds another dimension of comfort, which is certainly worth it. I opted for the rear facing seat mostly because of the leg room, and you can put a cooler, or right now I have this box with some car tools in there. But eventually I plan to, you know, put a table or something to fold down here, which would be pretty easy. Another thing that was an advantage of this van was this recently serviced rear AC unit, which works really well. So I didn't really mess with that, although I probably want to put some tubes or something here to distribute the air a little bit better. As far as the top, it's basically just there's this fiberglass topper, then I used some foam board insulation, and then I filled in all the gaps with that spray foam. Then the final layer here is just a 1/4-inch plywood underlayment. I stained it this dark color. And then I kind of did the same thing as far as insulation along the back windows, which are completely covered now. And then I just put this carpet here. You got a rough edge. And then I just cut out this kind of trim here, so it's really easy to remove if I need to get anything off. And then all the wires that are going towards the back just run along here, so pretty easy to service. But as far as electrical goes, I actually opted for using these little touch LEDs just because they're a little easier, and I can move them around and put them on magnets. So, and I think these are they're all dimmable, so I can adjust how much light. Well, eventually I'd probably like to put like a little porthole window right in the back here. So the bed I had to cut out to a custom size because it's kind of a weird size. It's a little bit too short, but if you're sleeping diagonally, it's okay. Thing is, mostly I'm going to use it for storage, which, as you can see, it's a pretty thick bed, but underneath it's just like this same carpet stuff. And then I'm probably going to add a little cargo netting. Then we got additional storage up over here. Put in some nice speakers, which sound really good. It's primarily going to be a road trip vehicle. It can fit 8 people, I guess, including the driver. 3 here, 3 here. All right, so let's head around the back. I'll show you what I did with storage over here. Put this hasp block on here. It's a little more heavy duty, definitely a good deterrent. So this isn't finished yet, but I do plan on putting just a piece of plywood that's going to fold down and be supported on strings to have a little table for camping. But for the meantime, it's just storage. This is the plywood floor that runs the length of the of the van. I'm gonna put a little edge here and maybe put a floor down eventually, but right now it's not a big issue. So I basically just built this platform. It's not too complicated. It's just secured to the floorboards, and it's actually secured to the sides on the walls, and then where the wheel wells are, it also attaches. So it's actually very sturdy. Can fit 2 of these guys, and can fit some 4x12 speaker cabinets, which is pretty much what I had in mind in picking the height. Yeah, and then the other thing is that with this carpet stuff, it's really easy to take off. So if I need to switch out anything with like the brake lights or get to any issues with the insulation, that's not a problem at all. Put these classic stripes on here. Pretty simple, just some spray paint and taking a little time to make sure the lines are straight with some good painter's tape. That pretty much wraps it up.